And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the culmination of a year of spectacular journalism and the high point of the night. It's the presentation of the 2020 Gold Quill. Please welcome Associate Professor Andrew Dodd, Director of the Centre for Advancing Journalism at the University of Melbourne, our principal sponsor, as well as Wing Kwang, who has just graduated with a Master of Journalism from the University of Melbourne and now works at the ABC, and our Gold Quill Chair Judge, Heidi Murphy, who is the Vice President of the Melbourne Press Club and an Executive Producer at 3AW.
Well, good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly a delight to be here tonight. I'm sure many of you are feeling this as well, to be back here 1 year on from the last time we were able to get together in such numbers. And I know you're quite desperate to get to the drinks, the chatting, and Kieran Rooney in particular is looking for a dance floor. I know Raph Epstein has some pointers for you that he's happy to share as well. Sort that out amongst yourselves later. If I could begin by asking you to join me, please, in a round of applause for our fabulous MC tonight, Candice Wyatt. Well done. Not easy keeping this room quiet. Thank you, Candice. Thanks again to Mary Gearan, whose voice you've heard all night with the citations. And I would like to take the opportunity on behalf of the Melbourne Press Club to thank the CEO, Kathy Bryson, and our very hard-working staff at the club who have put all of this on tonight and facilitated all of those virtual events during the year that you've been invited to, and I know a lot of you have taken part in. So to Kathy, Kate, David, Will, Anna and Jenny, thank you. We are, of course, here tonight to recognise the very best of our industry, and there has been, honestly, so much of it on display over this past year. A year in which we've all done our thing, made our news in what can only be described as some truly challenging circumstances. Challenges like putting together a newspaper from dozens of different bedrooms, kitchen tables, garages with the cats, the dogs, the kids, the homeschooling. All of it has been phenomenal. Challenges like having the government bag you, even when your lockdown and restriction stories end up being bang on time after time. Yes, the Herald Sun, I am looking at you. Challenges like those interstate bosses and colleagues and friends and family who really just couldn't know what it was like for all of us here because they were not living it. And challenges like sharing that daily Dan press conference with hundreds of thousands of people, all of who were experts in what you did or did not ask, your tone of voice, your hidden agenda or otherwise. To the Spring Street Press Gallery journalists, a few of you here tonight, you all deserve a medal. It was clearly a challenging year, an exhausting year, a relentless year, but a year in which we were able to show ingenuity, creativity, and a year in which we had such engagement with our product, our viewership, our listenership, our readership numbers, huge. A year like we'll hopefully not see again for quite some time, a very much a one-of-a-kind year. And I'm sure the bosses have lavished you with lots of praise and probably pay rises and gifts to say thank you. So for what it is worth, well done, you survived. Congratulations to all the entrants, the finalists and the category winners tonight. We are here to announce the Gold Quill, which as you will know is selected from each of the category winners. We've already announced. Now between us, my fellow judges, Tom Salem from the Herald Sun and Michael Rowland of the ABC, we have the job of trying to compare all of those winners you've seen tonight to find a standout, the most outstanding piece we can. We consider the impact of the piece, the originality of the piece, the investigative skills used, the quality of the piece of work, the initiative shown. And honestly, it's not an easy choice, it never is. This year, no different. But between us, we did manage to agree on one truly outstanding and memorable piece of work. It is not my job to announce it, though. That privilege belongs to our new principal sponsor at the Melbourne Press Club, the University of Melbourne. And here to open the envelope and announce this year's Gold Quill winner, the Director of the Centre for Advancing Journalism at the University of Melbourne, Associate Professor Andrew Dodd.
Thank you, Heidi. Look, no notes, there will be no speech. I can promise you that much. We are delighted to be sponsors, and we're absolutely delighted to be participating in this event, celebrating such an extraordinary year of journalism. Don't worry if you didn't make the mark, you didn't get a gong tonight. You're not in this game, are you, for winning awards? It's all about the journalism, and there's been so much brilliant journalism this evening. Keep going, keep doing it next year, keep producing wonderful reporting. I'm not going to open this. I'm going to give that honour to one of our outstanding recent graduates, Wing Quan, who graduated last year and is now at the ABC. Wing, would you like to read this out?
And the 2020 Gold Quill goes to Russell Jackson of ABC News for the persecution of Robert Muir.
COVID may have been the story of 2020, but so too was racism, and particularly here in Melbourne, racism in sport. Russell Jackson's piece on the 1970s Aboriginal AFL star Robert Muir is a compelling and confronting insight into the impact of racism. It uncovered little-known facts about a talented and controversial footballer spurned by his own club and long maligned by the footy world. The writing is first class, with the judging panel describing it as a beautifully crafted piece. Russell's meticulous research and the clear trust he built with Robbie Muir comes through in every line. As well, the impact of this superb piece of journalism cannot be overstated. It has transformed Robbie Muir's life, sparked long overdue apologies, and contributed significantly to a wider community conversation. It is, simply put, outstanding.
I'd like to invite Russell Jackson now to say a few words.
Firstly, I'd like to thank the Melbourne Press Club for this award. Obviously, this is surreal. I'd like to congratulate all the other winners tonight too. I wouldn't be in this position tonight without my boss at the ABC, James Coventry. James offered me some work a year ago, at which point I'd been unemployed for 6 months and thought I was finished in journalism. James gave me my first full-time job as a journalist, actually, and offered me patience, trust and support. And I've spent every day since being thankful for that. Also at the ABC, I must thank Gavin Morris, Gavin Fang and Joe McDermott. I love working with them and I love my job. I'd also like to acknowledge another of my interviewees, Hariti Lumumba, for his integrity and his strength and his willingness to make life better for others. Before all that, my wife, Cynthia, has supported me in everything I've done. She encouraged me to persist with journalism, even when it felt like I would never get anywhere. I can only do one thing moderately well at any given time, but she does everything well, always. So I can never thank her enough for her support. And she also, in my period of unemployment, gave birth to our daughter Priya, so that was a fair effort too. So thank you, Priya, for your smiles, and also to my parents for their encouragement. But there's only one reason why I'm standing here right now, and his name is Robert Muir. Thanks to the Melbourne Press Club, Rob is actually here tonight, which has made it a very special evening. Rob and I speak nearly every day on the phone, which is one of the joys of this story, actually, is that we've got to know each other so well, and I wish I knew him as well as I do now when I wrote the story. But because he's in Adelaide and I'm in Melbourne, we hadn't met in person until tonight. So that was it was a special hug, and it was a special moment, and we're going to have a nice time at the footy tomorrow too. So thank you, Rob. I'd always wondered about Rob's story. All that existed was a nickname he never should have been given, a few minutes of footage, and a myth that painted him as a thug. Someone close to Rob told me something very simple but true. The person is not the problem is the problem. Rob's problem as a proud Aboriginal man was racism. Football subjected him to so much of it for so long that he was never able to escape it. His sporting brilliance was met with abuse. In many ways, Rob's story and the opportunities that were taken away from him are a metaphor for this country. If my story achieved nothing else, I'm glad that people now realise that Rob was a gifted footballer who is worthy of respect. I also know that he's a kind, determined, intelligent, loving and very funny man. A lot of people have asked how my story has changed Rob's life. In reality, it's changed mine just as much. Rob's taught me things that I would have taken a lifetime to learn on my own. His strength has inspired me greatly, and he showed me that it's never too late to tell someone's story. I'll go and share this with Rob now, but to finish, I have to make an admission. About a week after Rob's story was published, I woke up at 3 a.m. and realised I'd left out an important line. I'm sure many people here know that sinking feeling. The deadline's already passed and there's nothing you can do. The line I accidentally left out was something poignant Rob said about his childhood. He said that when he was a kid, the thing he loved about footy was that for 2 hours every weekend, when he ran out on football fields, he felt safe. Rob, I know we've got a bit of work to do to get you the things you need, but I won't stop until you feel safe. Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations to Russell. What a remarkable body of work and a remarkable achievement. Incredible tenacity. You should be very proud of yourself. And congratulations to all of our winners tonight and to those who were highly commended, because we have come to the end of the night. A massive congratulations to all of our winners. It got me a bit teary, I'm sorry. It is a wonderful thing to come together and celebrate the great work that contributes to our vibrant media landscape, particularly during what was such a tough year that challenged us all so much, both professionally and personally.